Denny Vegas time in a Denny Vegas world. Whoo! Let me tell you something. It's a little chilly here in Las Vegas. Now, remember back in the summer? We were all sitting here bitching and complaining about 110 degrees, and we're like, golly, I can't wait until it's winter so we can get some cool temperatures. That's over. Okay, Mr. Winter, we get it. Thank you very much. But you can kind of end with the 26-degree stuff, and I'm ready for some pool action. I'm ready for the summer. Of course, in the summertime, I'll be bitching about it being too hot. But that's the way it is here in Vegas. We're always bitching about it being too cold. Certainly bitching about being too hot. But we are in the grips of winter now. And it was a little chilly last night. But anyway, we want to thank Joe Gamble. The board guy is back. He went down to Florida to walk on some hot coals, you know, and everything. So I'm sure he's all fired up and ready to take on the world, aren't you, Joe Gamble? Yeah, I'm sure, man. That was quite a deal you went to last week. But we're glad you're back. Joe Gamble is our board guy here. We have Bill Gamble down in Hollywood. And the guy that took over, thank you, Ty Gamble, who took over the board operations last week. Did a great job. Thank you very much. Big show, Titans business, Titans, like we do every week here on WCOBM, here from Las Vegas, World Center of Broadcast Media, which, of course, you know is at the Gene Woods Racing Experience, go-karts. It is one of the top tourist attractions in Las Vegas. It's not far from the Strip, stone's throw, as our friend Guy Dawson always says. So if you're in Vegas, you're tired of all the strip clubs and nightclubs and all that, you know, $500 a day hour stuff, come on down to the go-kart track, and for $20, $25, you can take out some aggressions right here on the track. So that's a little tip for you. So anyway, what's going on? As you well know, we're getting into the holidays. But you know, as far as what I've heard, shocks, we're going to stay open. We're going to do some shows, not only on Christmas Eve. I'm going to do my show on New Year's Eve. But it's so early in the day, I just don't think it trips anybody up. So unless they're out of town. So we're going to have some shows. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Because like I always say, mark it till the end. Mark it till you die, man. Because you can't give up. You can't say, oh, you know what? It's December. I think I'll just basically sit down, kick my feet up, and do absolutely nothing. You know what? That just means your January is going to suck. So you got to keep marketing, pushing, pressing the marketing buttons, pressing the promotion button every day, every hour, all the way up to 2016. Because, hey, that's what the next 3 shows are going to be about. 2016. Do you know 2000 was 16 years ago? I mean, it just seemed like yesterday we're all worried about the internet crashing or something. Remember that? It's Y2K. You remember that? Gee whiz, it's hard to believe. So anyway, one thing I wanted to yak about. I'm all fired up because I drank about 3. I drink energy drinks just to calm down. So I've had about 3 energy drinks today just so I can calm down. But what I want to talk about today is I saw something very cool on the internet today. I get up in the morning and I kind of cruise around looking for all, because everybody's got their inspirational stuff going on. So I saw something very cool today that really, really, really thought, hey, this is something to talk a little bit about on the show today in segment 1, as we call this, out the gate. I was listening to an interview with Conor McGregor. Now, if you don't know who that is, he's the guy that basically talks the talk and walks the walk. He won his big championship fight over the last weekend. He was built up for 9 months, and he won it. And he's a very brass individual. Unlike the other brass individual that got a foot upside the head and got knocked out, this guy actually walked the walk and talked the talk. Very brass individual, but he does it in such a way that it's actually alluring. You actually root for this guy. Where most people that run their mouth a lot, you're kind of just wanting to get their ass kicked. But this guy's kind of said something that's very cool. I want you to write it down. I didn't make this quote up, but I'm going to steal it. He pretty much said this: winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. Very interesting quote. Winners think about winning, losers think about winners. What does that mean? Remember I used to say all the time that walking elephants don't stop for barking dogs? Elephants don't stop for yapping dogs. What does that mean? You know what that means? That means the elephant is focused on where it wants to go. Doesn't worry about yapping dogs sitting down there. Yap, 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 yap. You can't do that. Yap, yap, yap. Oh, what about this? Yep. You know what? They just do what they do. Because you know what? When someone says you're the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, when someone says that you're the 10,000-pound elephant in the room, you know what that means? That means you're not really worried about yapping dogs, and you're only thinking about winning. Winners think about winning, and losers think about winners. So that was a great quote by Conor McGregor. I don't know where he got it. Maybe he just made it up. But I thought that was an excellent quote that I kind of relished today as thought of the day. But, gotta admit, all this inspirational stuff, we all love it, right? We read this stuff like, yeah, that's it. I think I'll share that. I'm going to post that. But you know what? If you don't implement anything, if you don't put anything in the strategy, you don't do anything, like my friend Lauren Slocum says, if you don't get off your ass, it don't mean jack. So love all that inspirational stuff. Soak it up. Soak it up like sunshine on a summer day. But if you don't implement a plan, if you don't implement any of that stuff, you know what? It don't mean anything. So that's the thought of the day. Stick it in your hat. Put a feather in your hat and move on and do something creative today. Big show today. We got 3 huge guests today. Most of them been on the show before. On the Danny Vegas Live platform. Live and breathe the Danny Vegas platform. Bleed Danny Vegas blue. Love them. But we have someone new today. Yes, first of all, she's going to be on the headlining, segment 4. Ruth Furman from Image Words is on the show. Been trying to get her on here for a long time. But who calls me during my show? Who calls me during my show? Winners think about winners. And losers think about winners or whatever. And then, of course, she's back. It's been a while. Love to have her back. She's back. Had a great summer. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about 2016. Sari Dennis of My Wellness Counts, LLC. Barbara, hello. We're going to have her on, and we're going to talk about what's going on in 2016 in My Wellness Counts because, Sari Dennis is blowing up in this town, and we're going to keep it that way. We got some big things going on with some publications in 2016. Whoop, whoop. We're going to love that. She's on the show. And then, as you well know, he's back. Mark Weinberger of the Lead Team. He's back. He's going to tell us what's going on in 2016 because Mark blew up in 2015. Just totally exploded onto the scene. Like I said, keeping his blinders on, not worrying about yapping dogs, just focused on where he wanted to go and blew up. And the Lead Team is everywhere, doing great things. I was at a Lead Team meeting just the other night. It was great. And he's going to be on because he's going to tell us how in the world are you going to equal what you did in 2015 in 2016. How are you going to do that, Mark? Well, we're going to find out. And what about me? What am I going to do in 2016? I've been doing a lot of thinking. Lots of thinking. What am I going to do with the Danny Vegas brand? What are we going to do to where we move forward, but at the same time stay on the racetrack? Keep focused. Don't worry about yapping dogs. Basically, winning is winning. Keeping the brand alive. What am I going to do? Am I going to burn out? Am I going to fade away? Or am I going to take the brand to a higher level? It's been 5 years now. At this 5 years, you would think you could look back and say, okay, how many of those years was wasted doing stupid things? How many years were good years? How many years were flying things in the mountain years? I think the 5-year point is a solid time to really take a look back objectively. I got a great team. We're going to do that. But first, that's segment 1. I love you worldwide. This is Danny Vegas. We got 3 hot business titans coming up for the rest of the show. I want you back. Lickety split.